Tomorrow, the Arizona Cardinals are supposed to play their third and final preseason game against the New Orleans Saints, but due to weather complications, the game just got canceled. This honestly sucks because there were a ton of position battles going on that were very close, and I'm gonna go over some of those in just a second. But since our final game just got canceled, it makes things a little more difficult to evaluate. I would have liked to see a couple more players get a chance to make one final impression, but when it comes to hurricane weather, the right choice was made. But regardless of the game being canceled, I'm going to go over some of the position battles that were going on, and I'm just going to go over some of the players who we should expect to be in the running to be cut. But before I do, make sure to let me know down in the comment section below what position battles you guys were looking forward to the most. Some of these are tough to call, and honestly, this game would have helped a ton of players make their case. But as it stands right now, they just have to go off what they've seen so far, and decisions are going to have to get made. But with that being said, let's get right into the first position. So for the first position battle that has been very close is at the running back position. We already know that our running backs 1 and 2 are Chase Edmonds and James Conner, but running back 3 is still very much up in the air. With Eno Benjamin and Jonathan Ward both balling out in the preseason, this is a very tough call to make. It's very possible they just keep all 4 of them, and I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they did that. It's just whoever ends up making it as running back 4 is going to have to contribute on special teams, so as long as they do that, I see them keeping all 4 of them. And to be real, I honestly don't know what's going to happen, but if I had to make a choice, I would say they're going to keep all 4. I know a lot of Cardinals fans really love Eno Benjamin, so it'll be very disappointing to see if he ends up getting cut. But even if that were to happen and he ends up getting cut, which I don't think will happen, I'd expect the Cardinals to bring him right back on the practice squad. And for the second position battle that has been very close is at the cornerback position. At this point, I think we have about 4 corners who are a lock to make the roster right now, but maybe the Cardinals are still unsure who they want to keep. Obviously, we have Malcom Butler, Byron Murphy, Robert Alford, and Marco Wilson who are pretty much locks to make the roster, but what about the others? If the Cardinals were to keep 5 to 6 corners on the roster, who would that come down to? Well, right now, we have Darqueze Dennard, Jace Whittaker, Tay Gowan, and Daryl Worley all battling for that position. And in my eyes, there's no clear-cut winner. If you look at the Cardinals' official depth chart, they actually have Dennard and Worley above both Gowan and Whittaker, so if cuts were made today, it appears that either Dennard or Worley would make the roster over both of them, but anything can happen.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
And I'm actually going to make a bold prediction for this one, and I'm going to say that the Cardinals keep 5 corners on the roster, and that corner is going to be Tay Gowan. He's young, and he showed some flashes in our preseason games, so I think he's earned the spot. But it could also go to someone like Darqueze Dennard. But if I had to make a prediction, I have Tay Gowan making it over him. And for the third and final position battle, and this is actually one I've had my eyes on for quite a while, is at the receiver position. This is the toughest one to call because NFL teams typically keep around 6 receivers on the final roster, and as it stands right now, I'd say we have 4 locks to make the team, and those players are D-Hop, AJ Green, Christian Kirk, and Rondale Moore. I think Keyshawn Johnson will also make the roster, but I wouldn't say he's a lock. In my eyes, there's 2 spots on the roster still up in the air, and I think there's 3 receivers who have legit shots to fill them. Those players being Keyshawn Johnson, Greg Dortch, and Andy Isabella. Like I said earlier though, I think Keyshawn Johnson is going to make it, so if he does, that would leave us down to 1 spot, and it would most likely come down to either Andy Isabella or Greg Dortch. This is supposed to be a huge game for Andy Isabella because he missed both preseason games so far due to protocols, but with this game being canceled, Andy really doesn't have a chance to prove himself. It's a really tough situation for him, and I don't know what the Cardinals are going to do. But when it comes down to Greg Dortch, he's had a really solid preseason and training camp, so as it stands, he's most likely ahead of Andy in the depth chart. And if Andy were to end up getting cut, which right now is a serious possibility, I just want to remind everyone, he was a 2nd-round pick. I think it'll be hard for Cliff and Keim to cut a 2nd-round pick this early into his career, but they might have to for the better of the team. Greg Dortch might just be better than Andy Isabella, and if you have to come to that realization that Andy Isabella is a bust, you have to do that. I know it's disappointing to see the game get canceled, but when it comes to New Orleans weather, that is not something to play with. So ultimately, they ended up making the right call. But the Cardinals have some very difficult roster decisions to make, and it'll be very interesting to see what they do. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, but before you click off, let me know down in the comment section below what players you guys want to see make the roster. And also, if you guys are new to the channel and enjoyed today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post NFL and NBA content, so if you're a fan of either of those or both of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.